Today, we're doing a build-in review of the Acclamator Assault ship by LEGO. This ship is an 18 plus set. It is set 75404. It is comprised of 450 pieces. Before we actually unbox the set, let's talk about the box itself. This set is a beautiful looking set. Now granted, this is an 18 plus set, hence the whole darker background. Typically we're going to see that within most A-fold, which is adult fans of LEGO set, or your 18 plus sets. Typically you're going to find the background like this within a UCS type of fashion, even though this isn't a UCS set, but it is an adult set, or at least what they're labeling as an adult set. Hence the black background. Typically sets that are not 18 plus, you're going to see a little bit more color, or at least some type of color variation within the actual box art itself. Again, this is 18 plus, so expect more of a black background. So on the front of the box, we have the ship in its entirety, completely built, looking beautiful. We have Star Wars and the Disney branding down below. Of course, we have the piece count down below and the H count down below as well. We also have the Acclamator Starship right here. On the side of the box, we see Starship Collection, which is a top-down view of the ship in Star Wars and LEGO on the side. And on the other side of the ship, we see the same text, but in Spanish. And on the back of the ship, we see another view of the ship, but also from the movie Attack of the Clones, we actually get to see the ship in its live action debut. Down here, we get to see the dimensions of the ship and more branding and marketing by Star Wars and LEGO. So without further ado, let's get into it. As you can see, the build has finally been completed. There were 4 bags and each bag took me around 20 minutes to complete, totaling around 80 minutes in total, or an hour and 20 minutes. Pieces together really fit seamlessly to make it honestly feel like as if it was built and designed directly for this alone. We have the plaque right here, which is the Acclamator class Assault ship, which is a printed piece rather than a sticker, which I always appreciate. Closer look, we have Lucasfilm Limited right down there. We also have the LEGO and Star Wars branding on top of the plaque itself. The ship itself is completely removable from the plaque, as you can see right here. But the only unfortunate factor is it's not a groove like other ships typically would be, either in the Micro Series or UCS sets. As you can see, it's studs, meaning you're going to have to place the studs identical to the ship's location on the bottom, so that way it can properly stand. Putting it back on the ship itself isn't the biggest problem, but it is really unfortunate when you have to line everything up properly just so that way you can have the ship stand again. Let's take a quick look at a 360-degree view of the ship itself. Each piece you see right here is printed, which is very nice and a big plus, especially when it comes down to consistency and displayability. So that way everything is accurate and represented properly without any type of variation. No, LEGO could have probably done without this, but I think it was a really cool idea to include the Circle Fleet Armada as part of the build. I think LEGO did an absolute phenomenal job picking and displaying some of the pieces to really articulate some of the curvature and edges of this particular starship. Again, a really great job on LEGO's part. You can see phenomenal use of some of the smaller pieces in things such as the bridge of the ship, which is a single transparent LEGO stud. Some of the additional details of the ship and curvature of the ship is represented in some of the triangle pieces right here. Again, phenomenal job on LEGO's part for that. Now onto the back of the ship. As you can see, they really put a lot of detail not only into the thrusters, but the design of the back of the ship itself to really flow and seamlessly blend in with the rest of the ship. I like the fact they even put a little transparent blue here for the engine thrust that's coming out of the thrusters itself, really making the ship feel a lot more alive and detailed. The ship incorporates a lot of triangle pieces, really making it angular, which would make sense because this is a triangle-shaped ship. A really cool design feature LEGO started to implement within this set is to represent what this ship was like in Attack of the Clones. If you go down here, you can actually pull down this little flap and you can see the clone troopers standing ready for battle. Again, not a necessary feature, but I thought the attention to detail there was really impressive. Structural integrity of this ship is decent. Now I gotta say, some of the parts, as you can see, is relatively flimsy toward the front, and some of the pieces were falling off as soon as I was putting them together, but that's beyond the point. The point of the matter is, you're not gonna break it by picking it up or taking it off the stand. It is relatively sound, but I wanna give it an 8, if not 7 out of 10 for structural integrity. The only thing I just wish is these parts weren't as floppy. I think LEGO did an immaculate job picking and displaying some of the most angular pieces so that way this ship is true to shape, especially when it comes down to the piece count as well. Very impressive. So LEGO just blew out of the water with this one. Itself will set you back around 50 bucks, which personally I don't think is too bad. Into comparison to things such as the LEGO Millennium Falcon over here, which costs around $85. Look at things such as size comparison. Of course, the Acclamator is a little bit smaller in size and in detail as well, but still 50 bucks, I think it's a phenomenal price for a ship like this. Now, here comes the age-old question. Is this ship worth picking up for yourself? It comes down to around 3 different factors. Number 1, price. Number 2, availability. And number 3, is this something you truly and utterly want? Being it priced at $50, I don't think is a terrible option. Again, I think it's a relatively affordable price when it comes down to a ship like this and the amount of detail and a really cool starship. Again, if you're a big Star Wars fan, 50 bucks is not too bad. One of the biggest complaints I think people are going to have with a ship like this is the fact that it does not come with a minifigure. People are going to say 50 bucks? No minifigure? That's criminal. But in my personal opinion, these ships don't need a minifigure to succeed. These are perfectly displayable on your shelf and are supposed to be displayed as they are. I think a minifigure, especially the size of the minifigure compared to the Micro Series ships, will take away for the detail and authenticity of the ship itself. Now, if you are looking for LEGO sets that have a displayable minifigure, I want to say the UCS sets might be your better route here. Again, I think the minifigure will kind of take away from the ship, especially due to the size of the minifigure, but that's just my personal opinion, and I think just the ship looks phenomenal on the display stand by itself. Again, to recap, beautiful design, beautiful build, didn't take super long to build, and looks great for display. Some of the pieces that they used to make the ship itself, phenomenal job LEGO for picking what they did, and also relatively easily priced. So it's not going to hurt your wallet, and it's also not going to have you take up a ton of space, especially due to the size of the ship. So that is their build and review of the Acclamator class Assault ship by LEGO. I really hope you enjoyed the build, and hopefully you enjoyed the review. Feel free to click like, share, and subscribe if you really like this review, and comment down below. Let me know if you already have the ship or are looking to pick it up, or is it on your LEGO wish list. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.